Welcome to This Week with Tammie Holland, powered by Brown and Crouppen. I'm Tammie Holland. My guest today is anything other than strange, but he's the owner of Strange Donuts. I really don't think that there's anything strange about those donuts. They're actually quite delicious and nothing strange at all. But Jason Bockman is with me today, and I'm hoping to have a conversation with my good friend Jason about entrepreneurship, about being a single dad, and about just doing everything. You just do everything, and I think you do it so well.
Thank you.
In this introduction, I must also say that I believe that Jason Bockman is one of the most interesting men in St. Louis, and this conversation will definitely tell you why I think that. Hey, Jason.
How are you? Good to see you. Always good to be around you.
Yeah, it's good to see you too. You know, whenever I do this podcast thing, I always start off with the same question for everybody. And that same question is, who are you?
Oh my
Who
God.
is Jason Bockman?
That's such a good question because I'm like, okay, what am I not? Right? Like, no, seriously, I was thinking about, like, I heard this, like, after Jay-Z answered that question, did you hear, like, hey, who are you? And he started going in and he's like, no, what's your name? But he was saying all these things that he is. And I was like, man, like, I could lose all these things. I'm a business owner, but what if I don't have my business? Right? And I just think I'm a dude trying to be better every day and be a good example to my kids. I think at the baseline, that's who I am. Right? Like, the things that I've done change all the time. And the stuff that I like, for the most part, changes so often. So I can't say I'm an athlete, I'm a whatever. Like, I just think I'm some dude, like, I don't know, I want to put on like I'm like this. I believe in God, and I think that I'm just trying to maximize my potential that God gave me.
I love that.
That's who I am.
I think that you do a wonderful job at all of those things.
Thank you.
I have been watching you for a number of years, and I am obviously a fan of yours. Starting first with Strange Donuts.
Thank you.
And when I say that there's nothing strange about your donuts, you are the most creative person that I know.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Why donuts?
Donuts is it just turned into that. I've done a bunch of different stuff. I had hot dog stands that, through college. I'd made shoes. I just hustled and sold stuff. And I ended up starting this furniture company. We sell furniture to, like, universities and hospitals. And this donut shop that I used to go to get donuts to take to my customers all the time, the people knew me as, like, the hot dog guy. And then I'm coming in and, like, suited and booted, whatever. And they're like, dude, what are you doing? Yeah. And I told them, about me. And they said, well, why don't you buy our shop? And I thought about it. And then a friend said, why don't we start our own brand? And that's how Strange Donuts started. And I was supposed to, like, consult on it for like 6 months. It was like,
that was it. You only were going to do Strange Donuts.
I was going to be like, this is how you do it, because the dude that I was with, Corey, was like, he didn't know how to run a business. He was super creative. He still is. But he didn't know how, like, the nuts and bolts of the business. So I was like, the things that I know how to do that you don't, I'll do them, and then you'll learn them, and I'll buy me out, whatever. And here we are 10 years later.
10 years later.
Yeah.
You mentioned college. Where?
I've been all over. I went to a little school in Arizona. I got a GED. I got, I was illiterate. I ended up, I went to.
Honest, what is in your mind, what does illiterate mean?
One time, so I grew up in group homes and stuff, that. And one time this guy was like, he said that he offended me. And I was like, fuck you, hick, like, what, this dude. Yeah. And I said, they re-tasty. And he was like, I was making fun of his shirt. Mm-hmm. And he was like, it like stopped the fight. He was like, dude, what are you talking about? And I was like, your shirt, it says they re-tasty. And it said there. I didn't know it was a contraction. Uh-huh. And he was like, this is a contraction. And it like stopped the fight. I was embarrassed. But I honestly, like, I was in math classes that were like, if you have 3 red crayons and 2 blue crayons, how many total crayons do you have? That's like my level of education. And I like quit going to school in like 8th grade. And so I could do some stuff, but you don't work on those skills, then they go away. And I just figured I'd be in prison forever. But like, I've covered all that stuff. But like, you can ask questions about it and I'll say anything. But I ended up, I went to first off, I went to community college. I was in those classes like reading, right?
Yeah.
And then I was in basic math. And then I was like, I want to be a drug abuse counselor. I went to this little school in Phoenix. And you didn't have to do any math or it was mostly like learning about working with people. And so I did that for a few years. I didn't want to do that anymore. Came back here, back in community college. I went to UMSL. I ended up getting accepted in this program called the Budding Scholars Program. I went to school in China for 2 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I speak Chinese. I don't speak it so well anymore, but
I won't put you on the spot.
Yeah, but then I ended up so I went to this program that was like University of Beijing, which is like the Harvard there.
Yeah.
And then I went to and then I graduated from UMSL, and then I went to grad school at WashU.
That's why I'm trying to tell you, you are the most interesting
It's so
man
wild
in
when I
St.
say it.
Louis.
I've lived like 5 different lives.
I'm trying to tell you,
like.
your story is absolutely amazing, and this setting does not give who you are and where you have been the just that it truly deserves, because you got a story on you.
Yeah,
you have an incredible story. Okay, so we understand why donuts, but what are you going to say?
Go ahead. I just feel like I didn't answer the question.
No. Because I feel like if it's good to you, come on and pop it out.
Okay, cool. Yeah, my brain works like a shotgun.
Come on. I want it. I want it.
Okay, that was it. Donuts. So it was like, it reminded me what I really loved selling hot dogs. I was making a bunch of money selling hot dogs. I didn't know what to do with money. I'd make like a G a night and then go buy 5 pairs of Jordans the next day. You know what I mean? And I just didn't know what I was doing, and lived in the hood and that's what I did.
Yeah.
And
so what I find interesting about that, I hate to cut you off, and I hope that if it was a really good thought that it could come back to you.
Yeah.
But what I think that is most amazing about you, and what a lot of entrepreneurs maybe fail to understand, is that when you have a business, you have to do just about everything. Jason, you make donuts.
Yeah. Yeah,
and you actually are good at
Thank you.
You're actually good at making donuts.
it.
But that's not what you started out. You weren't a pastry chef.
No, you figure it out. And I mean, like, we've talked about how you grew up, and like, man, I'm around people now, like from means, their families have planes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I don't like put them down. I used to hate those people, because I always thought there's them over there. And then there's me,
Yeah,
and I will
it.
never be them.
I get it.
So I hated them. And now I see like I was around some people last night, and I was just like, man, I am grateful for the way I came up, because there's like a fight in me where I'm like, I still have this like a little bit of a chip, where I'm like, I will show you, man, I still get like choked up. I used to like apologize for being emotional, but I'm like glad I could be emotional now about it. But like, I'm like, I will win, and I'll figure it out. And so
It's that Taurus thing in you.
oh yeah, no,
Yep.
like
It is.
Yeah.
Because Jason, you and I have a lot in common in that respect. It's like a 600-pound dresser. I'm freaking gonna move that dresser by
Yeah.
myself.
Right.
I'm not gonna call you and ask you to help me to move the dresser. I'm just gonna move the dresser. Yeah, maybe.
Do you mind if I say like a super personal story
Yeah, I do.
about
Tell me.
us?
Yes, it's okay.
When you were sick?
Yeah. Are you gonna make me cry?
No, I hope not.
Okay.
It was special to me, like, and I've never shared this with anybody,
Okay.
but I lived a block away from you.
That's right.
And being able to come over there and spend that time with you,
Yes.
when you were like, because you're like this strong woman,
Yes.
and to be able to come over and like be, I don't need to like get all into the details of it, whatever, but like,
I will, because I think it's one of my favorite stories, and I've told a couple of people that story because I found it was so remarkable.
Yeah.
Can I
whatever
say
you
that?
want, yeah.
So I've known Jason.
But to
but
see
just
this strong woman
okay.
be
Tell me.
vulnerable and let me help
Thank you.
did something healing for me. Love you.
I love you back.
Yeah.
I mean that. I do. the story is quite amazing. Jason and I have known each other socially and professionally. And when I got sick with cancer and when I was super sick in the beginning, he asked me what I needed. And I really didn't know. Now I'm going to cry. I didn't really know what I needed, but I felt like I just needed a friend. And I was very lonely. And I just needed a hug. And Jason was so adorable. He came over because he lived in my neighborhood and we would see each other in the neighborhood. And he came over and he came in. It was like you were on your break or something. Mm. He just came in and took his shoes off. And he was like, okay, where do you want me to be? And I'm like, I don't know. And he says, all right, come on. We got on the couch and Jason held me on that couch. For a good, like, it was like, ting, 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 ting. It's like counting the timer, though, but it was good. It was like maybe 15, 20 minutes. He's like, you good? You all right? You good? All right, Tam, you need anything? I'm out. But it was the human touch and just to have a friend, no sex, just an honest to God, thank you. Just an honest to God, good person. I needed that so much. I needed that, and I really, really, really appreciated it, right?
I've never told anybody about it.
Well, I told one person because I thought it was crazy as hell, and I loved every bit about it. I'm like, Jason came in, took his shoes off, asked me where I wanted to be, got on the couch, snuggled with me. Yeah, you good? You good? You good? Bam. All right. And then he was gone. But it was everything that I needed.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
That's why I think that you're absolutely incredible.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know we were going to do that.
That's the only stuff that's worth anything.
I didn't know that we were going to do that.
Yeah. I love it.
Okay. Now, let me get back on track. So we talked donuts. We've talked hot dogs. We've got a new business.
Yeah, Up Late. We're like a year old a week ago. The wild thing about selling hot dogs, I started selling hot dogs 20 years to the day, right in front of this, where we just opened this new spot.
The new spot is
Delmar and Skinker.
One of the best corners on the planet.
I feel like I made it. I swear to God.
Do you feel like that?
Oh, man. Like, this is the first time in my life I've done a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Right? I've done a bunch of things. There's been, like, Lifetime Achievement Awards and, bags of money and cars and kids and, you know what I'm saying? And, like, but I never really take time to say, like, good job, kid, to myself. And when I was like, I feel like in St. Louis, Natural Bridge and Kings Highway.
Yeah.
Delmar and Skinker. That
is
Delmar and Skinker
it's iconic. It's iconic.
And I'm there. Yeah, and we're going to be there forever.
Yeah, and you made it.
And I'm like, I was like,
yeah.
Good job.
Yeah,
it still feels a little, it still feels a little bit unreal. But yeah, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, 8 at night till 4 in the morning. We're selling, breakfast sandwiches, tacos, beer, donuts.
And not just any kind of a breakfast sandwich. Jason probably gets mad when I say this, but I swear to you, I think you got to be putting something
just
in
love.
It. Oh my goodness. There was a time that I was so addicted. Like I was going every weekend, right? To go and get this breakfast sandwich. And it's just a very simple, for me, I only got eggs, cheese, and the jelly.
Yeah. You got the late sauce, and
the late sauce.
Yeah.
So those 4 things made the most incredible sandwich. Mm-hmm. And I'm not the only one. It's like very crackish. Okay. I've never had crack before. Okay. I don't know, but I would like
I've had crack and it's not exactly like that sandwich, but
yeah, well, it's highly addictive.
Oh, I get it.
Highly addictive.
They're so good. It's my place, and I swear to God, when I go, every time I eat one, I'm like, oh my God. Like,
yeah, it's so good. So good. It's the jelly for me.
Yeah.
So when you guys go and you go to Up Late.
Don't make any don't change the order. We made it perfect. Just buy it the way it is.
Does that make you mad when people come to your place and they're like,
whatever.
You know what? I don't want the sauce. I want an extra cheese.
There's something
I want 2 eggs.
I love being told this is what you're getting. There's something comforting to me about like this is what it is, and I don't know, like my granny or something. Like if you don't like it, you're going hungry.
I'm like that when I go over to Pinot. When I holler at Chef over there, I just like, hey, what
Give me
can
some food.
yeah, what can you make me?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
he's like, sit down, sit down.
But I
sit
get
down.
it. It can be a little weird, jelly and hot sauce on your sandwich and whatever.
good.
But yeah, trust me, it's fire. Yeah.
So good. So you started up late right there on Vandeventer
Yeah.
at a most iconic spot that I was most proud of you because that donut shop meant so much before,
Yeah.
to everybody.
yeah.
Do you still have that as donuts?
Oh yeah, it's still World's Fair Donuts. We didn't change anything about it. We changed the coffee because the coffee was horrible, and so we have our own.
Do
coffee.
you have an electronic cash register?
Still no, we don't.
Really?
Yeah, we don't.
Can I tell you? Anybody from St. Louis knows that the woman the woman and the husband and the wife. What are their names? Okay, don't do it. The husband and the wife who were the original owners of World's Fair Donuts, they never ever had a cash register. And I don't care. You could go in there and you could order the oddest number of donuts, coffee.
She spits it out. Yeah.
She's going to spit it out. She's going to get the order for you. She's going to give you your change back. I mean, I was always most impressed with her mathematical skills because I never would have been able to do that.
Oh, she was on it.
And so you guys don't have a cash register
No,
still?
you can pay with Venmo. But yeah, still there's no cash register. So
Yeah.
we just have, here's the money, whatever.
Yeah.
There's something cool about that to me too.
So would you consider yourself a serial entrepreneur?
I don't know. Most of the stuff that I do is related to each other. Like the first thing, I got a job working at a construction company that built schools and hospitals. Because I went to school in China, there was I saw people that manufactured furniture. When I got a job, when we're finishing this building, I was like, I should sell this furniture to these people. And so all this stuff has been related. And so I don't know. I feel like I just, for the sake of somebody else first starting out, a lot of people want to jump around and they never give themselves time to grow where they're planted. You know what I mean? I've been doing this for 20 something years. You know what I mean?
It's crazy.
So I do a bunch of stuff now, but I've been doing a couple of those things for a long time before I started branching out.
So let's talk about how you're able to balance those things, because I think that entrepreneurs, especially people that are just starting out, it's very difficult to find a balance. But you not only are handling a business with multiple locations across the area, you also have two very beautiful children, and that is most demanding. You've got to do laundry.
Yeah.
You've got to make sure that two other people are eating. You've got to maybe even do some braids on occasion.
Yeah.
You're combing hair. Are you combing hair?
Yeah, I do hair. Yeah. I got
What's your specialty? Just one?
A high up ponytail, but I can do all kinds of braids and everything.
That's what's up.
Yeah. I did
good.
a class to do French braids and
Good for you.
yeah.
Good for you.
And so I go to I have my toenails are painted right now because I do pedicures with my daughter.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very
But
nice.
I think balance, I'm divorced. When I'm not with my kids, I'm working. And when I'm with my kids, I'm with my kids.
That's right.
But balance, I think people misinterpret that where they think that a work-life balance is on a daily or a weekly basis. And I think if you're really going to ever build anything worth building, it's more on a decade basis. For this decade, I am not going to be messing with girls or whatever. I am building a thing.
That's right.
Right. And then the next decade, hey, I'm going to have a little fun incorporated with this,
Yeah.
And then the decade after that, I am just having fun.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but that's how I look at it. I'm I'm 42 years old and I have this amount of energy for probably another 20 years, So I'm gonna
I don't know. You've got more than that in you.
I hope I'm selling myself short. I don't ever see myself stopping anything, but the things that I'm able to do now, I have a farm and I go there once a month and I don't talk to anybody. There's no cell phone service there. There's no internet.
Good.
I go there, I start a fire, I smoke a cigar, I sit there and I don't say anything,
That's right.
And I need that now, once a month. And that's what I do. I don't know. But
Good for you.
yeah, I don't know. But
Talk to me about real fast. Talk to me about failure. Obviously, as an entrepreneur, you haven't always chalked up wins.
oh, Yeah.
You haven't always been on the winning side.
Man, I've like so many things. I mean, I can't even, like, the biggest fail. I've recently something happened. I'm like invested. I got a little money together and, like, long story short, got hustled on this deal, so I'm still like taking swings, but what used to happen, I would screw something up. Like, so I had the hot dogs and then I did the furniture business. And then I got somebody asked me to be a part of the supplement company.
Okay.
And so we were like manufacturing protein and vitamins and blah, blah,
Okay.
blah. And like like we couldn't give this stuff away.
Nobody
wanted it.
Dang.
And I was like, it shook me. Like, I was embarrassed to go out. I thought everybody knew I was a failure, and no one cared. I was the only person that carried it around. We closed. I mean, like a very public failure was we closed the store in Columbia, Missouri, right? And this is after, like, I bought my partner out, and like that was like a little tumultuous for a minute. And we had this store in Columbia that was like going horribly. We thought what ended up happening with this store in Columbia is the money that was being rung through the register was going into escrow instead of hitting an account. And I was telling the accountants, like, there's money missing. And they're like, there's not. Anyways, we ended up closing the store, and there ended up being like $100,000 in a bubble somewhere, that hit this account. But I closed that store, and it was like around the time that like Black Lives Matter was really jumping off, right? And like I got told that I closed this store because of Black Lives Matter and I'm a racist and whatever, right? And so all these
Because was it in a black neighborhood or something?
No, it was in Columbia, Missouri.
Oh, okay.
It was like downtown Columbia, right? It had nothing to do with anybody. But like so I drove out there by myself. I had, because I need to meet with the employees to tell them we're closing the store. And I had called all these other businesses that would hire my employees. I went out there, I gave them all severance, and I was like, hey, you can work here and here and here and here. And I'm like, I'm sorry, guys, we tried, but we're closing. And I drove back, and my phone, like, it was going crazy. It was like, delete your account, delete the post, now kill yourself. Like, people were going crazy, and people were saying they were going to, like, do something to me. And I was like, man, this is crazy. And that was, again, I was like, I wanted to hide, and I never failed. Like, for some people, all weak people want to see a strong man fall, they rejoice in that. And I just didn't know some of that stuff at the time that, like, oh, these people that are like coming at me, they've never experienced any of this stuff. So why should I put weight on what they think of me? Right. But I did. And anyways, but that one was like, there was a few people that called me that, like, even my friends didn't even call and check on me, There was Mike Johnson from Sugar Fire.
Yeah.
Who was like, I was cool with him.
Yeah.
And Katie from Katie's Pizza. They're like, hey, we went through similar things, and like, it's going to be fine. No one's going to care in 3 days. But like, man, I figured my life was over, So.
You mentioning Katie, you mentioning Mike, you have a really cool way of connecting your business with other people. And when you do it, you have, like, it's a superpower of yours, I think, because you lift other people up.
Thanks.
I think that's really cool. Speak, if you would, like, briefly about the importance, because I think it's very important, of not just having a business in a community and serving it, but truly being a part of the community. You're a genius at that.
Some of it I like. I can't remember. I don't know who said it. I just saw it on Snoop Dogg's page, and he was like, Snoop. He was like, shout out to people who use kindness as a way of life, not a way to get ahead or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'd never heard it like put that well. But like, I'm honestly like, the dude that you see here now is who I am in any room I go to.
Yeah,
I'm not shucking and driving, trying to get something from you.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
And like, I think that there's a part of not owning a business and being a part of a community, but being a person and being a part of a community.
Yeah.
And I think about, like, we're doing this little segue real quick. Thank you, Brown and Crouppen, sponsoring 314
Yeah, I want to talk about that. Yeah, you've got
Celebration of
something
Us.
coming up.
But I want to talk about like, man, like I know that we are all connected, right? Like, and like to help you helps me. Right. So like it's kind of like knowing a cheat code. I'm like, if I take care of other people, of course sometimes I'm gonna get taken advantage of. And that's cool. And that's on them though. You know what I mean? That has nothing to do with me. But it's not gonna block my blessings, you know, like I put good out and good comes back to me. Something happened recently, like I don't know, within the past few months, and somebody was like, I'm not on Reddit or none of that stuff. I don't care, I don't pay attention, whatever. But some people say like some wild stuff about Jason that
You got dogged on Reddit recently?
somebody said something and all these people went at this dude.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very, very good. Very
And they're
good.
like, hey man, like, but anyway, so I don't know, like to be authentically good. And then when you screw up, say I screwed up. Like no one expects me to be perfect, but also I'm not going to be like some fake ass dude acting like, you know, like I'm better or worse than anybody. I'm just a dude, and I don't take myself so seriously. And it's funny to me, man, sometimes when I say stuff to people, not knowing, like I came over to your place because I'm like, man, I understand what it's like to feel alone. Let me go help, you know? I didn't know that was like doing anything.
You did. It was everything.
But it ended up like that. And like that was around the same time I got divorced. And that ended up doing something for me that like, had I not done that, it wouldn't have helped me. It wouldn't have healed me. So I don't know. It's some of it's selfish. You know what I mean? I do good so that it comes back to me. And if that's bad, then cool, that's bad. I don't know.
I love it. That's a soundbite in itself, and I love it. I love it. Come on, let's talk about 314 Day.
314 Day. Okay, so we're doing this party, and I've like done a few of them, and I gotta say, like Up Late, like Strange Donuts has so much to do with this girl named Ellie, right? She runs it. World's Fair has so much to do with this girl named Andrea, and Up Late has so much to do with Nate. You know, like in all, they are so much more a part of that stuff than I am, right? I get to do these things because they're so good at what they do.
Yeah.
And but we're having a party, 314 Day, a celebration of us, and it's Kinfolk and them, Darkwood. There's a Nyara, Newer World. I'm sorry, I always butcher his name. It's spelled funny.
Okay.
And
He's a performer.
Right.
Okay.
And then Red Hot Riplets, going to be the tequila. It's just going to be a party, and everybody's welcome. I think there's going to be a lot of people there.
So this is going to be at the World's Fair donut location. That's Tower, like
Van de Venner and Shaw.
Van de Venner and Shaw.
Yeah, 7 at night till midnight, or 7 to midnight, and we'll still be open till 4. But I'd be kicking it for a long time.
Talk about the Ox Court thing.
Oh yeah, so there's going to be we'll have like an old school with a system on it, and if you're undiscovered artist or whatever, or you just maybe you're Smino wants to come by.
Maybe if you're Smino and you want to come by, right?
Plug in and you can perform there on your own, like outside of these other performers that we're having come in. And I don't know, I just like I love St. Louis. I feel like we're increasingly told that we hate each other. You know what I'm saying? Like different segments of people. And when you're like, that's not my experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when it's hard to hate up close. And I'm like, I don't know.
It's hard to hate up close.
Right? Like,
I love that.
And so I'm like, I'm going to keep having these parties, and they're going to keep like being cool, and everybody's going to be welcome.
And we're all going to eat sandwiches.
And we're all going to kick it. That's it. And this is a celebration of us. And I think there's something so tight about St. Louis that I've experienced, that like it's a tough city in the sense that like I still love that you can get punched in your mouth here, and like no one's
What does that mean?
I don't like literally straight up like a lot of stuff doesn't slide.
Okay, I got you.
You'll get checked.
You get punched in the mouth.
At the same time in St. Louis, like a stranger will help you.
That's right.
I love us. I love that it's like a tough love city. I love this city, and I don't know. So it's a party for us. So come out.
314 Day. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
It'll be a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. I want my Red Hot Riplets.
Yes.
I want my 4 hands, 5 hands. Maybe 6 hands. Maybe that day it'll be 6. Who knows?
You can have as many hands as you want.
As many hands as you want.
Yeah.
Give me some advice real fast for a new entrepreneur that is struggling to make it happen, but determined just like you.
Man, it's most of these people who act like they have all this stuff don't. That's flat out. I think about this on a very regular basis.
What is it?
You know what the top 2% of people making money in the United States are from like 30 to 40 years old?
Talk to me.
Take a crazy guess. Anybody in here?
What, making money?
How much money they're making a year?
They're making
top 2%.
The top 2%. I don't know, Jason. Tell me.
$200,000.
That's what they're making.
That's it. Top 2%. There's 100 people in a room. Mm-hmm. There's 100 people in a room. Mm-hmm. Two of them are making 200 grand. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. But we see all this shit, and I have some stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like, but I thought everybody out here is rich. You know what I mean? You have a Suburban, you live in a decent house,
right?
You go to dinners and stuff. $200,000 is gone.
Mm-hmm. You got
you know what I mean?
Right.
You got an $1,800 car payment.
You got
a $5,000 home
mortgage,
loan, whatever.
Right.
You got a kid in private school, or whatever it is. That $200,000 is gone. That's only 2% of people. Mm-hmm. So this world would have you believe that everybody's out here getting it except you. You know, something that like I drove a 03 minivan.
Yeah.
Here today.
You still got that one?
I have another one.
Oh, you got another one. I love that.
I'm rich in minivans. Mm-hmm. I have, dude, but I mean, I have some stuff too. I have a Ferrari. I have like a really badass Ferrari.
Yeah, you do.
But I have this minivan, and I swear I don't care. I do not care if I went back to eating a peanut butter sandwich in the minivan. I'm not afraid of losing. I don't want to lose. You know, and I'm going to do everything I can to not. So I think like if you are new in business, trying to make it, it's okay to say I'm struggling. Okay. I used to think, and people told me that like everything is always good all the time. If someone asks, it's always good. And I do think that there's like, we need to do everything we can to make sure that we're doing the best we can, but it's also okay to say we're struggling. On the flip side of that, no one wants to hear this shit of someone complaining all the time. So shut up, do the work, and like let the fruits speak for themselves. And don't be afraid to like downgrade your lifestyle for a little bit, because who am I trying to impress? I mean, that thing when I was doing, you know what I mean? Like I didn't know any better when I'm buying all these Jordans. That's what success was to me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Right.
Was having some Jordans.
Right.
And I didn't know, because I wasn't around anybody who had anything. I didn't know that like, oh, I could, if I just didn't buy these Jordans, I could have a house, you know? Mm-hmm. So what's cooler, like wearing some Beat Vans and having like a bunch of rental properties, or having some Jordans and riding the bus? You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
So
there you go. Wow.
Does that work?
Yeah, I think that's quite amazing.
Right on.
Okay, one more thing. You said right on, and dang, it was right on the tip of my tongue there. Next. And I know that's a really hard thing. It's almost as hard as me asking who is Jason. What's next?
What's next? We are finding the time right now. We're going to, so Nate and I are going to Phoenix, Atlanta, DC, New York, Vegas, to visit with people that want to open up lates.
Nice. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
That next decade of yours is going to be fire.
Oh, the coolest thing about
it's gonna
it.
Be so fire.
Yeah.
It's going to be
I'm
so
like,
fire.
I know enough now to be dangerous, you know, and I'm like, and I'm old enough now to not care what people
You'll
think.
be retired in 10 years.
I don't.
Do you want
I will
to?
Never. No. And then do what?
This is true. Start something new.
Right. Like, I'm not trying to sit on the beach. You know what I mean? Like.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up. I think you're amazing.
Thank
and I'm
you.
so happy that you share with me. Thank you for being a friend. Boom, 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 boom. Travel down the road and back again.
You got me.
Yeah, you are my friend.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Love you.
Love you back.
Be good.
Mean it. Be good. Okay, guys, listen. And he's about to take off right now.
No, I'm not. I'm just moving this on. Out of my face.
Listen, Jason understands and knows that if anything ever in life pops off with you, like if you are injured, it's no fault of your own. The source, the people that you need to reach out to are our good friends here at Brown and Crouppen, okay? Reach out to them online, getbc.com, find them on social media, get to know Brown and Crouppen. They will take wonderful care of you should anything ever happen. I don't want anything to happen to you.
I'm going to interrupt real quick. I want to commercial. Some of the best, most down-to-earth people.
Brown and Crouppen?
Oh, my God. People for the people.
People for the people.
Dude, when I first had my son, I took him to music together. And Andy was in there.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, this dude is so much nicer than he has to be, and that it is not an act. That dude cares about people.
That's right, and that's the way we get down at Brown and Crouppen. So there you have it, straight from Jason Bockman. So Jason Bockman, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you. I never allow anybody to get out of here without sharing gifts.
Nice.
From a good friend here at Brown and Crouppen. Of course, I'm hoping that you will wear with pride. There are a number of things in there in which I am most proud of. I think probably the thing most that makes me happy is that pizza cutter.
Listen,
What?
the pizza cutter.
Do you know about our pizza cutters?
I've heard. I swear I've heard about these pizza cutters. This blade comes out.
Very,
it's a great
very
pizza
good
cutter.
pizza cutter.
I'm gonna give my son is all about
The Scullies?
Scullies,
Okay.
and so he'll wear this.
Okay.
My favorite sweatpants. If I could give any advice to Brown Crouppen,
Please.
okay, guys, the drawstrings on the sweatpants. You gotta get beefier drawstrings.
Okay, so
I bust them.
so we've got whack sweatpants.
The sweatpants are immaculate
But it's the drawstring.
drawstrings.
Okay, noted. Jen, we've got bad drawstrings on the sweatpants.
I wear a Brown and Crouppen hoodie probably 2 to 3 times a week.
Nice. Well, we got a new one for you.
Yeah, my butt hangs out of the sweatpants because the drawstrings are no good. I wear them around the house.
Nice.
You can subscribe to my OnlyFans if you want to see it.
We gotta pay for it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Jason.
Right on. Thank you.
All right. Until next time, remember life is death without adventure, and adventure only comes to those who are daring and so willing to take chances. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. 314 day. Holla, Jason.
Boom. Right on.
Right on.